Hey guys, it's Monday, and you know what that means. It's time for a garden journal update with Carl and the barking dogs in my neighborhood. So stand by for a Cultivate with Carl update. Hey guys, Carl here, Cultivate with Carl, and it's time for an update. So things have been popping in the garden. We got a lot of growth, a lot of exciting things going on, and a little bit of tragedy. And let's check out my strawberries. I'm gonna flip you around. We're gonna get right to business. And I'm going to start out today with the strawberry plants. All right, guys, here are the strawberry plants and a gratuitous dachshund shot. So the strawberries look to be doing pretty good. And we have some volunteer blackberries. So these two are ready to go. Last year, Ruby ate them all. So I don't know why she didn't eat them this year. But if you can see, I think it's right. I had a strawberry. Maybe Ruby's eating them. No, right here. There you go. Got a little strawberry number one. So the purpose of these poles was I was going to mount them out in the yard and build a stand so I could put them like a lazy Susan over by the fence. I just hadn't got there yet. So strawberries looking good. Let's move on over and see the carrots. Okay guys, here are the carrots. Looks like these carrots are doing pretty good and they're all starting to grow. I'll be honest with you, if I had to do this over, I would have just sprinkled the carrots across the bed instead of putting them in rows. But I lacked the imagination to do that and just was following instructions I saw online. So the plan is now that they've started to bush. My understanding is any carrot you find underneath there now, it's edible. So I'm going to start thinning them out and leaving the others so that the other ones can get big. And these will be like little bitty carrots. So maybe next video we'll try one of those. Somebody's dog's going nuts. All right, so that's over to carrots. Okay, guys, here is the green pepper bed, or the pepper bed. So these are new. That's a green pepper I planted last night. My brother-in-law gave it to me. There's another one I planted last night. All the rest of these have been in here. These right here, I do not know why they are looking wilted. I have no idea. All the rest of them are doing fine. These have been watered and everything just the same, but yet they're drooping. So we'll see what happens. Over here, this snack pepper, it looks like we've got a bunch of peppers on here. So 1, 2, 3, 4 at least. So it looks like we're gonna start getting some peppers. We got some forming right here too. My buddy Steve, who was good enough, he's cleaning out his backyard. He had these, he's got bamboo shoots. So I went over and got some bamboo shoots and made me some stakes. So I'm going to tie them off. Right now, this is kind of like the storage position. When the plants get big and start to flop, I'll move them a little closer and put some tomato tape on them. But here's your other gratuitous dachshund playfulness thing. You know, the channel mascots, they don't really help with gardening that much, but they're entertaining. So there you go. All right, right here, the Roma tomatoes are doing really well. I haven't done any pruning on them, and they're starting to flower up pretty good, and they're staying within the towers and getting a lot of support. So I'm gonna have to watch the cucumbers, if the cucumbers don't try and tie in, because I can already see where they're trying to tie in with the tomato plants. But we're just gonna let these go. So ooh, and there's a blue jay in my garden. Hopefully he's eliminating pests. That's what we need him to do. So, but these are the Roma tomatoes. Okay, let's take a look at the cucumber bed. Cucumbers are starting to grow. I just put these strings up just a couple days ago, and the pickling cucumbers are really starting to put it on. They're really starting to grow. I'm gonna have to add more strings today. The straight eights are going the wrong way and getting on the trellis behind them, and those plants are going everywhere except where they're supposed to go. Now we got a little bad news, a little tragedy in the garden. My lettuce plant has bolted. So that's what that big old thing is right there, because it got hot, and I believe it spends most of the time in the sun. So that means this guy's done. He's got to come out. So I'll take him out. I'm going to throw some shade onto the other two, so hopefully they won't bolt. But, you know, if there are some good leaves in there, but I guess when they bolt, it makes the leaves bitter or something. That's what I understand. I got these trellises to try out, and I'm putting the irrigation system in here. But as you can see, this cucumber plant is like wanting to just be a rebel. This one is really being a rebel, trying to stretch it out, and he should be going up. Instead, he's going sideways. So we're going to get him to go this way, and get him to go the other way so he doesn't lock up with my tomato plants. But you can see I've got the irrigation system. I've got all the parts ready, and so I just have to get in here and assemble it. And that's what I'm going to do after I finish videoing here. So I believe that's it, and we're going to move on. Here is the zucchini, and the zucchinis are starting to pop. So as the zucchinis start to pop, these two are going to start challenging each other for territory. I may have to go ahead and thin one off because you've got that one, which is doing pretty good, and that one, which is also doing pretty good. I don't know. It's pretty neat. These are also two. These are probably going to be squash, and they're starting to buck up. Very nice. These two are still kind of dragging behind. I think I've been having a watering problem with these. But wait till you see this next one. Look at this. Booyah! This thing has just been going and going and going. So we have a zucchini here. Now, I don't know if that's ready or not. These are going to be the straight neck zucchini. I thought that it would be like full out, you know. But I mean, that thing's hard like a rock. You got one there, you got one there. Flowers everywhere. And they're getting pollinated. So that is a plus plus. And then when we get over here, these zucchini just don't seem to be doing really well. And I don't know why. So we're going to have to work on these. If not, we're going to have to clear the pots and put something else in there. These seem to be doing a little bit better. So it may be a watering issue. All right, right here, these potato plants were the first ones to get hit by the blight. And so we lost some branches. We still got some blight spots on the leaves. But I'm going to spray them again and just let them keep going because of the fact that they're getting close to the end of their life. In these two pots, the beans that the peppers that I planted here did not sprout. That's okay. I've got some sprouts in the starter trays that are going to go in there today. Here's some other tomatoes. These were some of the unknown tomatoes. Obviously, two different types, I hope. Not totally Kellogg's breakfast or something like that. But this one's growing pretty tall. I've already got flowers. This may be another Roma. And if you remember, we lost our name tags on these, so we didn't know which one they are. We do know for a fact, though, that those are Haussenator potatoes. Or, God, I keep saying potatoes. Tomatoes. Those are Haussenator tomatoes. These tomatoes were genetically bred to grow well in the heat. So I may be splitting those out of this bucket, or I may just eliminate all but the strongest one, and then it will grow there. And then this is supposed to be a cherry tomato, a sun gold tomato. And they're supposed to be ones that grow really big. So these are interlopers that are about to get whacked. More potatoes. No, tomato right here. Tomato right here of unknown origin. Potato, which I believe these are the red ones, and these are the gold ones. Now, if you check this out, remember the unknown plants, the plants of unknown origin, turned out to be flowers. Man, is that nice. So check that one out right there. Well, that is so nice. Yep. And I keep them because they hopefully will attract some pollinators, but I really want to use this pot for something else, but heck, who's going to do something to these? These things are really nice looking. And that was an accident. The power company sent these plants out. So there you go. Here we go on the tomato bed. As you can see, I've been doing some maintenance with the fence, getting the fence out of the way. I think I'm going to go ahead and pull the fence all together. The dogs have really stayed out of the beds. We'll see, you know, what happens. I'm going to remove this fence, see if the dogs stay out of the bed. This is where the blight originated, on one of the tomato plants over there that's looking pretty pathetic. I'm doing the single string trellis method. It's working out okay so far, but some of the plants Ooh, got my first tomato. Look at there. Booyah. Oop, hang on. Right there, first tomatoes. And those are supposed to be the Bonnie's Originals. So, man, that's exciting. So here's some more Bonnie's Originals. And I got a tomato right there, too. So, nice. Starting to get the tomatoes. Gonna get them, we're going to work on these trellis stuff over the next 2 days. And get everything done. So, tomato, tomato, tomato. This one has no string. I have to get that fixed. This was the plant that the blight started on. So you can see I trimmed it pretty heavy to get rid of the blight leaves. Then I sprayed the leaves, but I think it's going to be saved because it's got enough leaves to keep growing and keep adding more leaves. So obviously this, I believe this is an Edox tomato, which is going to be a small cherry tomato type. This is also an Edox. This one, tomato unknown origin, we'll find out soon because we're going to get tomatoes. It would have been nice to spread them out a little bit, but hey, whatever, man. Okay, here's the compost piles. You can see I'm throwing everything in there from banana peels, old potato, pizza boxes for the cardboard. And then over here we got some coffee grounds, and that was some of the tomato plants that didn't have the blight on them that I put in here. The fresh looking leaves have just fallen from the tree. So they haven't begun to decompose yet, but underneath there's a bunch of other leaves that have been decomposing. These bins have shrunk half of the distance in the last couple weeks since it started to warm up. So as you can see right here, I've got one more, and so I'm going to set up that third bin. I'm going to take this bin, dump it in there, and take that bin, dump it in this one, and then I'm going to start the new bin with the accumulated stuff I have now. So there we go. So guys, there you have it for this Monday. Garden update. We're starting to get produce, which is great. We're about a month ahead of where we were last year at this time because we planted earlier. So I'm pretty excited about that. Mother Nature has, paid off. We haven't had any other frost. I don't think we're getting any frost. Our daytime temperatures are getting up to 80, and that's why the lettuce bolted. If I had that lettuce in the shade, it would have probably lasted a lot longer. But we're going to pull those lettuce plants out, and I think we're going to add in some pepper plants if peppers get along with cucumbers. And if that's a fact, I've got some other plants left in tomato and pepper ICU over there, and I'm going to go ahead and put them in where I can. That's about it. One of the Bonnie's tomatoes plants is not looking that hot, and it may come out. I may just go ahead and nip it off and then put something in its place. And that's about it. So they're growing really funky, like all deformed and stuff. And I don't know if that's normal for them. I've got one that's doing well, but the other, that didn't sound good. So that's probably geese are shooting the bird cannons because they got a plane getting ready to take off. Or it's not the bird cannons. So that'll be it. So I'm going to sign off here from Always Armed Gardening. And just let you know, my garden's not the place to go. But I think what we're going to do is, it's firecrackers. Damn kids. So let's take a minute and look at some pictures of the garden and some of the coolness that nature brings. And remember, just like I always say, you guys got to get a hobby. Get a hobby to deal with that stress. Find something to divert your attention and have fun with life. So till next week, it's Carl from Cultivate with Carl, and we'll see you next time.